Yay! Welcome, and I'm Vanessa Moon, aka Pink Moon Witch. I'm a 46-year-old perimenopausal autistic woman based here in Brisbane, Australia, and I have been in more MLMs than I care to count or admit. No, I'll admit them. We've done Amway, we've done Herbalife, we've done Enagic, and a bunch of others that you won't have heard of. I make anti-MLM content not to hate on individuals, not to hate on them, but to help people wake up from the cult-like tactics, false promises, and emotional manipulation that runs through these schemes, companies, and cults. If you're in deep or just curious, stick around. I speak from experience. Now, before we go any further, everything I share is personal opinion and experience. Everything I share is based on my personal opinion. Fair use disclaimer is currently showing, and we'll now show our second little disclaimer, which all of these can be found in, of course, the section below as well. We've got all that out of the way. Let's get into it. Okay, so today we're covering partner.co, but before we go any further, we're going to add our little we're going to pause Anika Martin. Anika Martin is going to be our case study today. This is freely available on her Facebook, so you can go watch it anytime. And of course, I'll show a little bit more of what, if you can see it, read it, because you'll see that when I did this screen recording, I scrolled through the caption, and at the end you'll see the comments as well. I'm showing the whole damn thing. So we're going to break this down it's very red flaggy, so red flaggy. So anyway, we're going to dive into a truly wild MLM interview between two brand partners from partner.co, pushing what they call body balancing drops, aka skinny drops. Now, as always, this isn't about bullying individuals. This is about calling out dangerous rhetoric, misleading health claims, and culty tactics MLM's reps are trained to use, especially here in Australia, where laws exist to protect us from this type of conduct. Well, they're meant to protect us. But ultimately, I do this sort of thing because I'm an advocate for you and for me to just stop being scammed by these schemes and to help people to get out of them. So let's get into it, because I'm not going to go much into partner.co here in this interview. We're going to deal with this. Then I'll throw up the website over here for a shared screen sort of situation, and we'll go to the partner.co. Yeah, and we'll check it. We'll basically have a little look-see on partner.co, and you'll see them there. So just a quick little. So you'll see here, shop. This is partner.co, people. You'll see here they've got a ton of stuff. And this here, the noni is everything. That gives you the heads up, a little bit about them. Yeah, okay. Clinical studies. We can go over this in more in depth in another day. But I was on here because they're going to talk about the drops. So I think maybe it'll be under bestsellers. And then there's the day and night drops they like to talk about. What else we've got here? Ravel. We'll do that another day. Oh, really? Oh, my God. Okay. See, shop with a brand partner for discounts and other perks. By the way, I went through this whole thing to show that you cannot do this without a brand partner. So you proceed to checkout. Continue as guest. Boom. You cannot do it without a goddamn brand partner. I'm sorry, but that's just so bad. So bad. Anyway, let's return back to our video. We're going to go into this and I'll let it play out. I'm going to actually have to stop at 30 seconds in because there's love bombing. It's like love bombing 101 right there in the live. Like, watch it, listen, watch it.
Hello, Live Clean with Goop Gang. How are you guys? I'm so excited to be bringing in Fina Toscana. Say hi, Fina.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much, Annika, for having me. Super blessed.
Oh, no, thank you. I had the absolute honor of doing a presentation not long ago just about our products, and your name came across my presentation, and then you and I connected on social media. I love this about social media. We just, even though you're in Sydney now, and I know that because we connected, I said, let's catch up next week when I'm in Sydney. But it was your story that blew me away. And we, us personally, are learning more and more every day. I keep saying it's like having Christmas come every single day of going, because we're seeing our customers change. We're seeing our customers' results, our own results on these incredible drops. And
emotional hooks and love bombing. Right there. Emotional hooks and love bombing. So the rhetoric is emotional appeal and appeal to authority to this lady who is, you'll see it, that she's about to mention very much, push it out there. She's a nurse, okay? And the red flag is claiming daily joy and transformation echoes MLM love bombing. The fallacy using Toscana, the lady, using her being a nurse to imply medical credibility for the drops while sidestepping responsibility. We're just sharing. And the misleading tactic is suggesting that medical professionals endorse the product as weight to unverified claims. And other notes that I made about this is this emotional high constant excitement is a tactic designed to bypass your critical thinking. It's freaking not Christmas. It's the 3rd of May that I'm recording this. It's a sales funnel. Let's continue.
Knowing that you have already got this incredible success story and having the background that you've got as well, being a nurse, like when you first started your drops and your journey, were you just blown away by your results just in general, because coming from that field of being a nurse?
Absolutely. The main reason I started on these drops, to be honest, I wanted to lose the 10 kilos. I was going overseas for a wedding and I just wanted to fit into a dress. And that was my primary goal. But the bonus.
They're banking on Fina's nursing background here to sell credibility. But let me be very, very, very clear. I'm looking at my notes, people, just make sure I don't cut and miss points. Being a nurse does not make her or anyone qualified to recommend unapproved health products, especially ones that claim to balance hormones or impact the thyroid. You'll see that they're about to do that. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, It's just, it doesn't, oh, anyway. Appeal to authority too. If you look up appeal to authority, this is exactly textbook appeal to authority as well. All right, we're going to keep going because they're about to drop a bomb of a health just, yeah.
This was something else altogether, which we are going to talk about. And never in my wildest dream did I think that I would fix that problem.
I think when you ever look after your health, and I know that you coming from a medical background as well, and understanding, because you just said it before before we went live, that you just ate junk food, and we all can go down that rabbit hole, can't we? Where sugar is just so addictive, and you can't, unless you start to make those decisions for yourself. You kind of need an avenue or a platform to start with, and then that's what you did with your drops, didn't you?
Yes, absolutely. I used to say I used to eat junk food, but I've since come to realize there's either food or there is junk. There is no such thing as junk food. And that's what.
Hold up. Moral absolutism and shame-based language. Did we all pick it? Do we all have that on our bingo card? Because I can guarantee you that is textbook MLM speak. Every time they talk, you'll see this moral absolutism and shame-based language, especially anything to do with weight loss or any. Yeah, the red flag is that she's here, a medical professional, framing food in moral terms, junk, and in as manipulation tactic used in wellness. MLMs to create fear and dependency. The tactic is it preys upon body shame to position the product as a savior. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Vanessa, for making that note. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's like, oh, here's our product. Oh, glory be. No, glory be. Any other notes I have about this? Now we're about to go into a big one.
What I ate, junk, pretty much. I love the sugar. I have a sweet tooth. I baked and I made all of these beautiful Indian food and I just ate it. And I didn't realize that the weight just crept up. I went from about 65 kilos to about 90 kilos. And it's only when I looked at my photos and I was like, who is that person? And that's when reality really hit. And I said, no, I've got to do something, because it wasn't just about my weight. It was about my health. And I've realized that if I don't take care of my wellness, very soon I'll be taking care of my illness. And that's when I needed to make the switch.
I love that. If I don't take care of my health, I will need to be taking care of my illness. I think that
false ditchery. So this suggests it's either this product or illness. Either you do this or you have illness. Red. I need a little red flag. I need to buy a red flag, because this is huge. I need a little wave it like red flag. This creates such an unrealistic, get the words out, unrealistic sense of urgency and fear of decline without the drops. Like, this is creating unnecessary fear. Like, oh no, if I don't do these drops, I'll be ill. But even in themselves, they're doing this to themselves. They're indoctrinating themselves into this as well. We have to notice, not even putting it out there to the public, themselves. This is how they speak to themselves. And this is how the MLMs become cults and indoctrinate the distributors, or brand partners, as partner.co likes to call them, into this, because they start to get this into their thinking. This worm enters their brain and creates the neural pathways for them to think, if I don't have these drops, if I don't choose these drops and keep consuming them, I'm choosing illness. I'm just checking my notes. Any other things? No. All right, we'll keep going.
hits us all in the chest. You don't really realize until you have gone down that pathway of going, oh my gosh, what is the price you're going to pay in the long run? Now, Fina had lost an incredible 10 kilos, and you said now you're up to 13?
Yes, I've lost 13 kilos. Yes,
Wow.
because my metabolism really slowed down when I was diagnosed with my hypothyroidism, and that's when the weight just piled up.
Yeah.
And I went from being a miserable, maybe 56 kilos. I was really underweight. And then I went to 60, 65 when I did get married. And then slowly the weight crept on. And 90 kilos was the heaviest I weighed. And so I needed to do something about that.
Wow. Just circling back on what you said about hypothyroidism, because there are so many, obviously, illnesses that we have in the world, and your testimony and your testimonial about it was you even showed your blood work. So was that a surprise for you on how these drops even affected that? And obviously, guys, we're not in here to cure or diagnose anybody, but for your own personal results, Fina, were you just blown away by your blood work coming back? Like walk us through that and that surprise.
Exactly. And this is a caveat that I always make. We don't heal, diagnose, or promise any cures, but we just share our testimony, right? And
right. Yeah, lame disclaimer. Oh my God, is that lame? Anyone else is all like, you know, good little disclaimer there. But let's put that disclaimer in there because compliance. But all right. You want to know that health claim that she my the lid of this is reflecting on me, little wee. Anyway, distracted. We'll put that over there. You know, the bomb of a thing that I was talking about earlier, we're about to get it. Wait for it.
being a nurse, this is what I did, but don't do what I did. But I stopped my meds because I was on thyroxine for 20 years. And what it did, it was just a Band-Aid fix for me. It never really healed me of my hypothyroidism. And so my doctor was well aware that I wasn't taking my medications, but I was on a quest to really heal my body because I know our body is an amazing organism. And if you put the
Do I need to? Do I need to? Okay. Testimonial manipulation. The rhetoric is testimonial manipulation and medical miracle narrative. The fucking disclaimer meant nothing. Like, really. This is an extremely dangerous. I need multiple red flags. Extremely dangerous claim. Do I need to say how much misinformation is going on here? I don't care. You're a nurse, media. Oh. Red flag, red flag, red flag. She admits to stopping medication, thyroxine for hypothyroidism without medical guidance, then implies these drops fix her thyroid. This fully violates TGA advertising guidelines. TGA here in Australia is the Therapeutic Goods and Drug Administration thing. Therapeutic Good Administration. TGA. Therapeutic Goods Administration. So, TGA. This definitely violates TGA advertising claims. And ACCC, which is the Australian Consumer something Commission. Oh, anyway, health claim rules in Australia. This violates everything here in Australia. It's so bad. And suggesting the product can support thyroid function is a therapeutic claim requiring registration with the TGA. So if this thing needs a TGA little thing on it, number, it doesn't. And these are therapeutic claims. This is so. And I did make more notes. Where is it? Health misinformation. It's not legal. You cannot make claims or imply therapeutic claims about an unapproved product. Full mother freaking stop. Stop it. Oh my God. Not only are they implying a cure when they put on their lame disclaimer, She's also sharing it as a success story to encourage others to try these drops. This is where MLM's these reps cross the line all the time. They do it all the time into irresponsible health influencers. They've gone from just selling stuff to irresponsible health influencers. And you could tell by the way this lady talks, she's definitely been involved with this MLM, both of them, for a little while now. She's got her talking points down. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm just a little infuriated by this. Okay, let's continue.
Right things in, you can heal your body. And that's
Yeah.
when I set on that path to really heal myself of hypothyroidism, but I didn't quite know how I was going to do it yet. So when I started taking the drops and I lost the weight, I lost about 13 kilos. I said to my husband, something feels different in my body. I had more energy. I was active again, because in my house I was the chief, and my family, my husband and my kids were the Indians. You know, they always ran errands for me up and down because I had basically no energy, and I knew that my body had.
You're the chief, and they're your Indians, and you just let's the just the no. I don't like how that's. First, yeah, I don't like the language about the chief and the Indians. Just, yeah, I'm not woke or anything like that. It just doesn't sit well with me. But what she doesn't realize, this is just my own, I didn't put this in the notes, but I definitely wanted to make a note of it, is that you're tired because you are the chief, running the chief of this operation of the household. The emotional and physical labor that you're possibly constantly doing it. So you're doing nursing, which is very intense, can be very intensive, depending. Well, she hasn't mentioned what type of nurse or where her specialties are. They're then going into home where we know for a fact women, especially married women with kids, do the, oh my God, there's so much emotional and physical domestic labor that women do. No wonder you're tired. They're not picking up if these are all men, the patriarchy, one word, patriarchy, people, patriarchy. It's a thing and it's real. And if you start opening your eyes, you'll start to see how much emotional and physical domestic labor women do, even when married with children and with competent adult husbands that don't contribute to the household. It's a bugbear of mine. And no wonder you're tired. Anyway, I just had to say that in there before we go any further, because we've got more. And you probably, look, I'm going to ask if in the comments below, because I really, really do encourage this. If there's any points in here that I have missed, like any sort of rhetoric or fallacies or anything else that's popped up that I have not put a pin on this, please post it in the comments below. I do super encourage you to do that. Even if it's like 10 million comments, I'm not fussed. You can comment all you like. Comment below.
Change. I'd lost a lot of weight. People started to ask me what I was doing. And I said to my husband, why don't I go and do a blood work and see what the results are? So obviously I did my blood work, and I said to my doctor, if my results are good, don't call me back. But if they are not good, call me back so we can discuss the results, you know? So 3 days later, my doctor called me and he said, come in and see me. And so I said to my husband, I bet it's bad news because he's called me. So I said, will you come with me? So my husband came with me, and my doctor said, oh my goodness, your blood work is amazing. I'm so happy. And I looked at him and I said, why did you call me in then? And he said, I really want to know, what did you do to really fix your results? So my thyroid stimulating thyroid hormones went from being in an abnormal range to a normal range, and he knew I wasn't on medication, and he said what it was. Like, he really wanted to know. He was very curious, and I told him about the body balancing drops, because when I took them, little did I know that they support your thyroids as well, and it worked really well for me.
Oh, wow. I knew you'd be a good testimony of being able to tell people, especially because we are obviously 1 week in with the.
Sorry for those. I couldn't get rid of the kids out of the background of her thing. That was a thing for me when I was recording this. I was just like, oh my God, screaming kids. Yeah, there's a reason why I'm childless, not child free. Child free. I'm child free. I've chosen to be child free. Screaming kids like that. Oh my God. Yeah. Just like, couldn't she do this in a room or something? Like, she's got the screaming kids. Anyway, that's just my own little. But also, you know, not we, as in the anti-MLM community, and in anyone who follows anti-MLM content, you can definitely be like, why aren't you watching your kids right now? Spending time with them? Where's this? Anyway, let's go.
These products and we love them. So to hear even your 30-day results has just, you know, I'm very, very grateful.
3 months. 3 months results, 90 days.
Yeah, 90 days after being on your drops. Now,
Yes.
somebody who is sitting there right now, and a lot of our customers in here don't know anything about the drops. What would you say to them, looking or hearing your testimony now of somebody going, "Hey, these like, do they work?" Obviously, they work from what you have found out. But what would you say to somebody sitting on the fence and going, because they're drops? So, like, how can these drops do what they can do? I'm sure there's a lot of confusion.
Yes. I just made a video today not to call these skinny drops because of our American counterparts. They call them skinny drops. And so people often think these are just about losing weight and getting skinny, but it's much more than that. These are really about balancing our hormones. Because when the body is not safe, when the body doesn't feel safe, it's not going to release the fat. So what it does, it helps with your digestion, it helps with your mood, it helps with your neurotransmitters. Our stomachs, our gut really is our second brain, right? And so when you fix your gut, it changes the way you feel as well. So people have got off their medications, off their antidepressants because they feel happy, they've lost weight, they feel confident again. It supports your thyroid. It supports your hunger hormones. For goodness sake, I used to go from a dish to another dish, from my mains to my desserts to an ice cream to a Coca-Cola or whatever it was. I could never stop eating. So I was so left.
She keeps going, by the way. She keeps going. the rhetoric, overgeneralization, I'll get the word, overgeneralization and pseudoscience overload. Oh my God. Where's the science? Science, are you in the room? It's not, just like the cat isn't. Just like my cat isn't in the room, pseudoscience isn't in the room. I just want to touch on this part. I call it the buzzword salad. Okay. This is what is called pseudoscience soup. It is such a pseudoscience soup. This person and any MLM hunt, this is common with a lot of these wellness MLMs. They stack a bunch of science-sounding words, cortisol, leptin, insulin resistance, to sell the idea that these drops are doing everything, balancing hormones, helping mood, fixing digestion. But where is the evidence? Zero scientific evidence for any of it. And worse, it creates false hope for people with real medical issues, thyroid disease, depression, disordered eating, by implying these drops are the answer. The other thing I wanted to touch on with this, yes, the false misleading claims. This is highly unethical. Again, the ethics. Where's ethics in the room for this? Ethics, just like my cat, not in the room. I can't say dogs because they are in the room. So the tactic here is this throwing around of scientific buzzwords is to make it sound legitimate. If you watch enough MLM huns in wellness MLMs, you'll see this. This tactic is so common. And the fallacy is a post hoc fallacy. Correlation does not equal causation. Repeat with me. Let's tap this out, people. Correlation does not equal causation. Correlation does not equal causation. Blood work isn't everything. We don't know what else this lady was doing in this 90 days. That's 90 days. 90 freaking days, 3 months. We do not know what else this lady was doing that could have contributed to it. You cannot tell me these drops were the only thing she was doing. There would have been other things, and you'll see it. You'll see it. They're about to promote near the end. They'll start to promote it. She would have done other changes because she's doing these drops. This would have actually caused other things to happen in her life, you know, to create a ripple effect of a whole heap of different changes in her life, the way she eats and interacts with food and all this sort of stuff. It's not the drops. The drops are just one out of many, many things. And being someone in the medical professional, oh my God, it's just every time I see someone that's a nurse or anyone in the medical professional, they've got to know how complicated, especially for women of a certain age. Yes, I'm saying that, of a certain age, anyone over 35, basically, anyone 35 to 55, I'm pretty much that age range. That is key for perimenopause. That is the perimenopause age range. You'll find lots of women, they'll go through, and it's different. Look, you know, go down that rabbit hole if you want to research perimenopause, because I'm perimenopausal. I'm like 5 to 6 years into my perimenopause journey right now. And I can tell you right now, there's so much going on. You cannot tell me blood work and blood work only will tell you everything. It won't. It will not. And also, this is 90 days. She's most likely done a whole heap of other stuff. I'm sorry. Correlation does not equal causation. Can you tell it gets under my skin? Anyway, post hoc fallacy, everyone. Post hoc fallacy. This is a very good example of post hoc fallacy. All right, we'll continue. Let them.
Resistant that I just couldn't stop eating. And I would finish my lunch. What am I eating for dinner? Food was always on my mind, and the food noise just drove me nuts. So with these drops, it also balances your cravings, your hunger hormones. It gets rid of the unwanted appetite. And most of all, it really helps with our cortisol levels, our stress hormones. As moms, we are stressed about so many things in life, you know, our kids, our work, our home. And the cortisol in the night drops really help you relax. And once you relax, your body detoxes, you start the repair process. And so these are just amazing. But most importantly, they help insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is the bully in the playground, if I can say, that messes up all the other hormones. And if you are insulin resistant, you may not be diabetic, because people get confused about being insulin resistant and being diagnosed as a diabetic. You may not be diabetic, but you can still be insulin resistant. And the evidence is the midsection enlargement, your fat accumulation around your midsection. And these drops absolutely help with getting rid of the visceral fat. And that's really the killer fat. So I wouldn't know of a reason why any woman would not want to take these.
Yeah.
And we've got people as well who cannot eat. They just never feel hungry. And that's not good either. So these drops would help with that as well.
If you're wondering what I'm pointing to, I have the word breathe tattooed on me for a reason. Pointing to it to tell myself, breathe. So let's all take collective breath, because if you're like me, you can just feel like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
To make them eat so that they have an enough amount of appetite, because at the end of the day, you need minerals and you need vitamins for your body, right? So overeating is not enough, not too good, and undereating is not good either. We need a balance.
Yeah. Did you hear that? The bully in the playground, your insulin. I have not heard somebody put it in that way before. Fina, guys, listen to this incredible woman's testimony. I'm so grateful. I knew you'd be a wonderful person to interview because your results blew me away, and the results that we're seeing continue to blow us away. But thank you from the bottom of our heart for coming in and explaining your own experience with these drops. And guys, if anybody's wanting to try these drops, we also have a low GI meal plan to give you to go along with it. So we're not about starving. We're not about meal replacing. We're about repairing and making sure that your body is working in optimal prime.
Pause, mofo, pause. Rhetoric, false reassurance. False reassurance. I have more on this. It's just basically, I've lost my notes. Went right past it. False reassurance. They're preemptively countering objections common in diet scams. I'll repeat. They're preemptively countering objections common in diet scams. Simply implying fat loss is inevitable. This is not a regulated therapeutic good. This is not a regulated therapeutic good. So these claims are potentially unlawful under Australian advertising standards. And these two ladies are Australian. Sydney, Melbourne, they're Australian cities. Anyway, we'll keep going, and then I'm just going to go into a few little things at the end. Yeah.
Position and a way that you guys can be dropping fat while balancing those hormones and keeping that bully, that hormone that's the bully in the playground under control, your insulin. I'm so stoked about these products, and we just really want to be able to share this in here with you guys. So thank you, Live Clean with Goop Gang. Please give Fina some love in the comments. Fina, I cannot wait to meet you in Sydney next week.
Thank you so much. Me too. I look forward to seeing you. And thank you for having me. I'm so blessed and humble. Thank you.
Oh, we are the blessed ones. And thank you again. Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
As you can see, I shared the comments. Have a look-see at those comments. Enjoy the comments. How many of those people are actually already involved? But also, just some of those comments. Did you notice the spam one? I love the spam one in there. That was fun. All right. So yeah, that's Fina. That's the lady that was featured. As you can see, RN on a mission to help 40+ women balance hormones and lose weight with plant-based supplements. AKA, and as she's doing the thing, because they're like those drops that you snap, like Fix, PHIX, like Fix. They snap them and drink them that way, not like drops from a dropper bottle. Oh my god. Anyway, let's finish this up. Let's close this up. Partner.co. You saw I went through the website very quickly there. I'm just going to finish on this. Australian compliance breaches. Fina. And, of course, our lovely lady at the start there is, of course, Anika Martin. Anika Martin and Fina. They both need to be, they're both breaching therapeutic goods advertising code here in Australia. Claims about weight loss, hormone imbalance, curing illnesses are not permitted unless the product is listed with the TGA. It's not. And no disclaimers about the product being not evaluated, and testimonials cannot be used. Your lame-ass disclaimer doesn't work here, ladies. Testimonials cannot be used to imply therapeutic effect. ACCC false and misleading representatives, they implied a cure or replacement of medication and may be considered misleading conduct under Australian consumer law. Any other things I noted there? Oh, yeah. MLMs regularly skirt the law. They do. especially here in Australia, MLMs regularly skirt the law by using testimonials as a loophole, but that does not make it legal. All right, we're going to go over a little bit of partner.co right here at the end. So feel free to stay if you want to learn a bit more about partner.co. Alrighty. Partner.co is a wellness-focused MLM that launched in 2023. Yeah, 2023. We're in 2025. Still new, yeah. By merging 4 older MLMs, 4 of them, merging 4 of them. ARIX, Morinda, Limu, so LIMU, and Zenona, ZENNOA. You might know Morinda as the one sold tahini non-induced. Remember when we looked at the website, I told you that's an indicator of who's buying this. They called this a fresh start, by the way, fresh start. But structurally it's still the same MLM playbook. Overpriced health products, recruitment-driven income, and a compensation plan designed to benefit the top few. They've already opened an office here in Brisbane, which shows me they're planning an aggressive expansion in Australia, and that should worry everyone in Australia. This is the reason why I'm covering this. Here in Australia, we need to be worried. These 2 huns are recruiting a whole heap of others. We've got that ex-Modere hun, and she's Australian, and she went with this place. But how they make money. Let's be very, very clear. They can make money selling Partner.co's products, but they'll need to spend 100 PV per month on their products just to stay active and earn commissions. It's called personal volume or PV. Most of the time, people don't actually sell enough to customers. They really don't. I know this from I definitely know this through my own experiences. It's never about the sales to customers. And there's no retail sales. We just saw it. You have to have a brand partner. You can literally not buy something straight off the website without a brand partner. Anyway, it's just first, I'm just like, excuse me, just let me buy the thing. Like these days, this day and age. Anyway, most of the time, people don't actually sell enough to customers. They end up buying products themselves just to qualify. You just go to the website, you'll see. If you want to make more than pocket change, you'll push into recruiting, of course, because there's limited capacity for, of course, just making product sales. They do, look, I did look into it a lot more details. There is capacity to just focus on customer sales. However, that's never the way in. It's okay. It's like they always push that. That's like here. But if you want to go here, you want to bust out that ceiling, get to the 1%. It's like, yeah, get up those ranks. You have to recruit. Anyway, building a downline, getting a cut of what the recruits spend. It's the same exploitative structure we see in every MLM, just dressed up in different packaging. And here's the kicker. I did make a note because here's the real kicker. There's no income disclosure statement. They've been open since 2023. Where's the IDS? Even in America, like there's not even an American IDS. I get that there might not be one for Australia because there's very, very rarely. I'm going to say right this up front. Try to find an IDS that's for Australia. Even Monate, they stopped producing an Australian one. You want to know why? Because it never looks good. Have a look at the old Monate Australia IDSs and you'll see what's really going on here. Because even the toppy top don't make anywhere near the amount of money people in the US make at the toppy top. And then you look at things like in Magic, and this is where I got duped. They have one income disclosure statement saying it's global. They say it's global. Global. not even one specifically for Australia. There's very, very few MLMs out there that are here in Australia that have, they operate here in Australia that have Australia specific IDS. But this one doesn't have one, period. Period dot blank. Oh my God. That means there's no public info about how many people earn money or how much. This is a huge red flag. So, few of the red flags that I find with this partner.co, all MLMs, there's no such thing as a good MLM. Repeat it with me. There's no such thing as a good MLM. Point blank, period. Boom. But anyway, some of the red flags. They call their reps brand partners. They call their reps, which sounds empowering, which gives this false sense of empowerment, but legally and financially, they're just like a sole proprietorship. They're just a independent contractor, basically. And it's also commission based. There's no upfront enrollment fee. However, there's of course a requirement, the 100 PV personal volume requirement to stay active. The compensation plan is confusing and layered. This is typical MLM. They make it confusing and layered with 10 plus ways to earn. They'll push this. They'll push it. There's 10 plus ways to earn, but really they're just parroting whatever the company and their upline, even that no one understands it. And I can tell you right now, even as someone who was involved in various MLMs, I tried. I really did try. I got involved with one where I really went down the rabbit hole to try and understand the compensation plan, and another one where I looked into the policies and procedures, and I really did. Like, I'm autistic. I get hyper focused on something. I love researching, hence my anti-MLM fixation. But yeah, I will go in and I will go in. So don't try and hide shit from me. And this is the reason why one of the ones that I was involved with had Himalayan goji juice. I remember it distinctly. And I looked into their policies and procedures and a few other things. And I kind of like, whoa. And that's what made me leave that one. Yeah, I was like, I see your skeletons. I see the skeletons. And I was like, I'm out. All right. They heavily lean into wellness, empowerment, and community. And we all know we need to do this. Community. No, there's no community. There's no community. It's because it's conditional. It's fully freaking conditional. If you stop buying and question the system, guess what? You out, buddy. You out. And well, guess what? They're targeting Australia right now. They really, really are. This is one of the many targeting Australia. Anyway, I think I'm done for covering this. We can go into partner.co itself a lot more in another video. I think I will do that while we wait for Nueva. Because at the time of filming this, my copyright strike, thanks to Nueva, is still in existence. I have full faith and capacity that it's nothing. 1, I'm in Australia. 2, I covered myself. 3, I'm in Australia. It's ridiculous, and it will be reinstated. So while we're waiting for it to be reinstated, we can do, of course, other videos. And because I am concerned about partner.co, I might do a bit of a deeper thing in it about it, but I'll finish on this. So if this video stirred something in you, maybe you're in an MLM right now, maybe you've just left, please, or maybe you're starting to question it all, which is fully welcome. I just want you to know you're really not alone. Welcome. If I've definitely been there, and there is life after MLM, a lot of life, a better one with no scripts, no shame, and no chasing ranks. If you found this helpful, give it a like and share it with someone who might need to hear it, and hit subscribe so you don't miss my next one. And if you want more unfiltered, because I don't believe in editing, not so much I don't believe in it, I'm not an editor. I don't do editing. I don't have an editor. I like this format, and I will eventually go live a lot more, and that will be the format I follow. But in the meantime, because I love live, but in the meantime, yeah, this is my, well, I need to get the subs up. I need you to sub. I need you to subscribe so I can go live. So yeah, if you want more unfiltered real-time anti-MLM content or just a space to feel seen, come hang out with me on Instagram. That's the handle, Pink Moon Witch. And thank you for watching. Mwah! And take care of yourself. Please do. I've been drinking my tea. Tell me in the comments below if you want me actually to tell you what I'm actually drinking, because you have no clue. And I have a lot of different teas and everything to enjoy. Anyway, so yes, I'll see you over there. I'll see you on my Instagram. I'll see you in my next video. Mwah! Thank you. Yeah. End recording. End recording.